Max Cinnamon from Max Talks Movies, and welcome back to Max Talks Box Office. Today on Max Talks Box Office, we're going to break down the box office weekend, which was August 14th to the 16th, 2026, our domestic numbers. We're also going to look at the overall numbers for this year, both domestic and worldwide, and we're going to preview what is hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. So welcome back, guys, to the channel. Thank you guys, of course, for joining me every single Monday, as I love covering the box office. So without further ado, let's just get right into this past weekend's numbers, as we always do, from the 14th to the 16th, 2026. And at number one, of course, once again, is Spider-Man Brand New Day in its third weekend from Sony, dropping 66%, but that's another $48.2 million for Spider-Man Brand New Day domestically. It's up to $785 million domestic and $2 billion. It is the second fastest movie ever to get to $2 billion, and it becomes just the eighth movie ever to get to the $2 billion club, which is just spectacular that this film is at $2 billion. It is now the eighth, as I said, the $2 billion movie of all time. The other films ahead of it in the $2 billion club are Avengers Infinity War, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Titanic, Naza 2, Avatar The Way of Water, Avengers Endgame, and the first Avatar. Those are all the films in the $2 billion club. Spider-Man No Way Home got to $1.9 billion back in 2021. So absolutely amazing. In 3 weekends, Spider-Man Brand New Day gets the $2 billion club. The question is, can it be in that top 5, right? So it's currently at $2.02 billion. Infinity War, they're already $30 million away from passing Infinity War, so it's going to pass there. It's under $100 million to get past both Infinity War and The Force Awakens. The $2.2 billion club is where you get Titanic at number 5, Naza 2 at number 4, $2.3 billion is Avatar The Way of Water, and then you have those top 2 movies, which is Endgame at 2.7 and Avatar, the first one, at 2.9. So that is next for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Can it be the highest grossing film of all time? We're going to see. There's still really no major competition hitting theaters. So Spider-Man Brand New Day has a lot of wiggle room to keep climbing up and make more records. At number 2 this past weekend was The Odyssey, which is from Universal, in its 5th weekend, only dropping 26.5%, another $23.2 million for The Odyssey. It's up to $500 million domestic and $1.2 billion. All of the attention after its release all went to Spider-Man Brand New Day. No one has really stopped talking or started talking again about The Odyssey because of all the records that Brand New Day is bringing. But guys, The Odyssey has made $1.3 billion. Highest grossing Christopher Nolan movie of all time, passing Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Oppenheimer almost got to $1 billion. This movie's doing way better than Oppenheimer, and Oppenheimer obviously had the boost of being the same release date as Barbie. The Odyssey had 2 weeks of wiggle room before Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it still made its money. The fact that it's still playing in IMAX, it's kept all of its IMAX screens for over a month, truly, truly amazing. And don't worry, IMAX is not giving up those screens to the Odyssey anytime soon. So very exciting stuff for movies, for Hollywood, that you have 2 juggernauts in Spider-Man Brand New Day and The Odyssey, and they both couldn't be more different, more unique films. One obviously is for the superhero genre. The Odyssey is not at all. So very exciting, gives a lot of hope, I think, to a lot of filmmakers. Going to be a very interesting end of the year now as more blockbusters hit theaters, because I think Spider-Man and Odyssey gave a lot of franchises a lot of hope this over the last month and a half. The last 3 movies on this list are all new releases. At number 3, by $500,000, was The End of Oak Street, which opened at $21 million domestic and $47 million worldwide. Now, this probably could have opened bigger. I think a lot of people expected it to be in a tussle with the Paw Patrol movie. As I said, it only beat Paw Patrol by $500,000. The film did cost $85 million to make. So it needs to make $212 million. That's its break even. I don't really see it getting there. It is amazing. The dinosaur movies outside of Jurassic Park the Jurassic Park franchise never do well. 65 Madam Driver did nothing. End of Oak Street here does nothing. And I do think this is why studios are afraid of making dinosaur movies because outside of Jurassic Park, people just don't go see outside Jurassic Park the non-Jurassic dinosaur movies. Anne Hathaway, who knows if this is a big knock on her again. Ewan McGregor's never been a leading actor who brings in moviegoers. Anne Hathaway, yes, being a part of Devil Wears Prada 2 and the Odyssey this year. Maybe people are taking a break from Anne Hathaway. Who knows? I think this movie could have gone to number two, at least could have passed the Odyssey. It fell 2.2 behind the Odyssey. The Odyssey's in its fifth week. It would have been nice if the end of Oak Street gets that number two spot. Many people said it was a toss up based on these numbers. It was a toss up. So I do think it's disappointing that Oak Street could not unseat Odyssey just to be number two this weekend. And it just didn't separate itself enough from Paw Patrol. Talking about Paw Patrol, the Paw Patrol Dino movie comes in at number four. It is from Paramount. It opened at $20.5 million domestically, up to $69 million worldwide. So while Paw Patrol made $500,000 less than Oak Street domestically, it made 22 million more internationally. So bigger numbers for Paw Patrol the Dino movie. The film only cost $40 million to make. So the film's break even at this point is $100 million. It's going to get there. Now the question is, the last film from 3 years ago did get to $200 million. So we'll see if Paw Patrol the Dino movie will get there. This is not as big of a juggernaut as other family franchise, but for Paramount, who doesn't really release a lot of animated movies, this is a nice, solid franchise that isn't too expensive to make and makes their money back easily in theaters. So harmless family counter programming to Odyssey, Oak Street, and Brand New Day. And at number five, another concert movie, Cat's Eye, Wild Hearts. I hope I'm saying Cat's Eye right. I am not so unfamiliar with their music whatsoever. But of course, they are a big girl group. And their concert film slash documentary film got to $3.9 million. As the film was a celebration of the group's new era and the fans who made it possible. It was behind the scenes footage of fan videos and intimate interview with the members. We're seeing more artists, musicians put movies in theaters. If it's concert movies, if it's behind the scenes footage of them making music, if it's just pure documentary interview footage, a lot of variety when it comes to artists putting their movies in theaters. If it's Taylor Swift, if it's Beyonce, a lot of different artists are now trying the movies, and look, they're getting into the top five. So really does show you these people do have big enough audiences to get into theaters. When we look at the overall numbers domestic so far this year, that's just United States and Canada, there is Spider-Man Brand New Day at number one. The Odyssey is at two. Toy Story 5 is at number three. Super Mario Galaxy at four. Michael at five. Project Hail Mary at six. Obsession 7. Devil Wears Prada 2 at eight. Backrooms at nine. Minions and Monsters at number 10. When you look at the worldwide numbers, that's when we combine the international box office and the domestic box office. There is Spider-Man at $2 billion. The Odyssey is at number two with $1.2 billion. You have Toy Story 5 at three, Michael at four, Super Mario Galaxy at five, so $5 billion movies this year. Devil Wears Prada 2 at six, Project Hail Mary at seven, Obsession at nine, Minions and Monsters, about to get to $500 million, is at number 10. So let's now look ahead to this upcoming weekend in theaters. The two big movies coming out this weekend are, first of all, we have Insidious Out of the Further, excuse me, not The Last Key, that's the fourth film. Insidious Out of the Further is the big new movie hitting theaters this weekend, of course, from Blumhouse. We'll see how the Insidious franchise continues. We have not gotten a film in 3 years for this franchise. So we'll see if, again, horror is big right now. We'll see if Insidious can make a mark. Mutiny, the new action film starring Jason Statham, will be hitting theaters this weekend. Then in limited release, you have Tony from A24. You have Spa Weekend. That's a new movie starring Leslie Mann, Isla Fisher, Anna Faris. That's hitting theaters this weekend in limited release. And It Ends, a new horror movie from Neon, is also hitting theaters this weekend. So what are you guys going to see this weekend? What did you guys see this weekend? Love to hear your movie theater experiences down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to Max Talks Movies, guys. We're about to reach a huge milestone, 500 subscribers. Can't wait to talk to you guys once I do. A lot of videos, guys, are hitting the channel this week. You're going to get my spoiler review for the first episode of Lanterns. You're going to get my review for Mutiny. You're going to get my review for Insidious Out of the Further. You're going to get my Insidious franchise ranking this week. Tons of videos are hitting the channel, plus my out of theater reactions for those movies. So subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when my videos hit the channel.